Please be seated. That's the class of 2022 right there. As my grandmother was fond of saying when she was at a loss for words, when she saw something that she appreciated and enjoyed, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You guys are beautiful tonight. Shukran and ni hao, welcome. It's nice to see everyone here tonight. This is the 2022 commencement for Bancroft School. So if you missed a turn on your way in, you made it. We're glad you made it. Today marks my 8th and final commencement ceremony as head of school, and it has been my great honor to serve this incredible community over the last 8 years. Throughout my tenure, I've sought to inspire the changes needed to push our school forward, while also providing the stability to support the school's growth and its inevitable evolution. And while some changes have been difficult, a great school like ours must adapt to be ready for the future. These students gathered here tonight will make a difference in the world because we have provided them with the skills, the knowledge, and experience to be ready for anything. I'm proud of the steps we've taken together to strengthen the foundation of our school and set these students on their path to a better future, to their better future. Thank you for your support in these efforts. Commencement is, on one level, a very personal event in which each graduate can take pride in their achievements and receive a diploma. This marks the literal end of their high school career. It also serves as a meaningful shared experience in which the graduates, their families, supporters, teachers and coaches, and their advisors all gather to mark this culmination of our time together. Thank you for sharing this ceremony with us tonight, a ceremony dedicated to celebrating this dynamic group of young people. It's easy to be a fan of this class. They're much accomplished both in and out of the classroom, and they have persevered. They persevered through one of the most challenging experiences of being a part of a school community that any country, nation, part of the world has ever faced. We're very proud of the ways that they've stepped up. They made the most out of this unprecedented time. Despite all the changes and all the disruptions, they made the most of it. They are loyal, they are supportive, and they have demonstrated great care for one another and for this entire community. We're very proud of the ways in which they've done that. And tonight, throughout the evening, you'll hear many examples from them and from Ms. Sigismondi about the amazing things that they've been doing over their time here. Before we start with the presentations and conversation about these students, though, I want to shed a little bit of light on our faculty and staff. I want to thank you, all of you, for your incredible devotion, your creativity, and the thoughtfulness you bring to your work each day. It is because of you, because of your work, that we're here tonight and continue to be seen as one of the premier schools in the state of Massachusetts. Thank you so much. Our faculty inspire students to engage with each other and with the community and the world in meaningful and impactful ways, and their leadership is critical to making this happen each day. These last 2 years have been particularly challenging for all of us who have devoted our lives and our careers to caring for students and helping them to grow up. Thank you to the faculty for your enthusiasm and patience through all of this. Yesterday, we presented 3 special individual awards to faculty members for recognition of the ways in which they strengthen our community. I'd like to take a moment to recognize them here tonight. First, the Carpe Diem Prize was presented yesterday to the Upper School Dean of Students, Robin Silverman, for her service connecting students and adults in a powerful bond of care across the school. Thank you, Robin. And the Issa Bayonne Bowl was given to science teacher and former summer camp program director Carrie Whitney in recognition of her contributions towards building a strong and positive community. Thank you, Carrie. And the Steve White Chair for Teaching, Lifelong Learning, and Global Citizenship was given to French teacher Flavien Collet. Congratulations, Flavien. Adults like these surround our students each day, and they provide an environment that powers us all. Again, join me in thanking all of our faculty and staff for their incredible and amazing work in helping to lead this school. Tonight, we gather in a moment of reflection, an opportunity to acknowledge and celebrate the end of an important chapter for these students' lives. But in many ways, this is the very beginning of the rest of their lives. And I know they are prepared to go out into the world and make an incredible difference. You'll hear common themes from our speakers tonight as they share stories that reflect their love for each other and for Bancroft. And to begin, I'd like to ask a member of the class of 1977 and current board president, John Duggan, to share a few words. John?
Thank you, Trey. Good afternoon, everybody. On behalf of the board, I want to welcome friends and family who have gathered with us here today to celebrate our students. And I want to offer a hearty congratulations to this class of 2022. As a member of the class of 1977, I remember this day well. Day of mixed emotions as you are excited about graduation, but maybe just a little bit nervous, not knowing what the future holds. But never in my wildest dreams did I imagine I'd be back here 45 years later celebrating this event with this community today, and for that I am most thankful. To this graduating class, I have an ask. My ask of you is that as you take the next step forward in your educational journey, that as the opportunity presents itself to have a positive impact and change in the world, that you grab that opportunity. Doesn't have to be a huge change. It can be a change of this size. It can be a change of this size. Sorry, I stepped away. But when that opportunity presents itself, please grab it. Bancroft School has prepared you for that. The world is ready for it. And most importantly, the world needs it. Again, congratulations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John. And now for the student welcome, I want to introduce Arietta Nasto and Chair of the Activities Board, Brent Stefani, to join up front. Did I mention that Arietta is the president? Yes, okay, she's the president.
All right, hi. Good evening, family, friends, fellow students, faculty, and the graduating class of 2022. Happy Friday. I think that we can all agree that this may be one of the best Fridays of our lives.
Or at least that we want to mention in front of our families.
For those of you unfamiliar with our faces, I'm Brent Stefani.
And I'm Arietta Nasto.
And we've represented this class since freshman year, before taking on our roles as Activities Board Head and Student Body President.
We are honored to be welcoming you all to this wonderful ceremony, because if there's anything that we love more, it's talking about how excellent this class is.
We know you underclassmen are probably tired of this, but we promise you won't be hearing about our excellence again after this night.
Or at least just not from us. People often say that high school flies by in the blink of an eye. And while this may be true for the first half of our high school career, our second half definitely wasn't the way any of us thought it was going to go.
Entering Bancroft, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed in this very field house, we were all ready to experience our own high school musical.
Newsflash, no Troy Bolton, singing, or flash mobs were to be seen.
Instead, we got to experience Miss LeBlanc's geometry class, the joys of MLA formatting, the day the power went out, being the true winners of the 2019 and 2020 lip sync competition, and retiring from the pit only to be welcomed back months later.
Then our sophomore spring break was a little bit longer than we anticipated, and our tight-knit class frayed a little. But coming back to school for our senior year, we were ready to rumble, especially after our unforgettable retreat to Camp Caribou. This class brought back many events that provoked feelings of normalcy, joy, and support.
Our grade knew that we had what it took to rebuild our community, and every single one of us tirelessly worked to make this year great. And we did it.
We did it. And we made it here today. Let's just take a little moment to let that sink in.
All right, that's long enough. They only gave us 3 minutes.
That was for the best. Brent and I represented this class with our whole hearts, but we represented more than just 58 students. We represented their strength, their courage, their power, their kindness, most importantly, their empathy. We hear about loss a lot, but this class did not lose these characteristics. And for that, Brent and I are extremely grateful to be part of something so wonderful.
We also thank the faculty, because without their efforts and support, we simply would not be the young adults we are today. Thank you for sticking by us these 4 years. And thank you to the families in our lives who allowed us to demonstrate our resilience. We are now forces to be reckoned with.
And with that, Brent and I have a final question to ask.
Seniors, who are you?
Thank you, and we all hope you enjoy this ceremony.
They're practiced at capturing the attention of a crowd. They do it every week. Thank you, guys. Now for some reflections on the class, upper school head Mark Taylor.
Thank you, Trey. And thank you to both Brent and Arietta for your words. I've said this to each of you. I've said this in front of many others, but I'm happy to have an even larger audience for my gratitude for your leadership this year. You two should be incredibly proud of the way you met the moment this year. We needed to rediscover the joy and power of being together as a community, and you two are a big part of making that happen. So thank you. Thank you. One of the reasons that Brent and Arietta were able to lead us so well is that they are part of this class of amazing leaders. And it is those attributes of this entire class that we should all listen to and look out for throughout the ceremony this evening in these speeches. Whether it was navigating the turbulent times we've all experienced but finding ways to make it work, or by winning field day as juniors to the profound dismay of their older friends and my advisory full of juniors and seniors, or by then racking up an incredible winning streak of class competitions throughout the fall and winter of this year, in which they then were able to rest their starters and still dominate. This is a resilient, competitive, and very proud class. But it is actually another trait of theirs that struck me last week at our senior celebration that I also want to highlight. After the time-honored rituals of the sweatshirt photo and the yearbook dedication, we were supposed to grab our picnic blankets, grab food outside, and head to the fields. 30 minutes went by, and there were only a few of them on the fields or in line for food, and I got worried. So I headed back inside, and I followed a buzz. There they were, still in the dining hall. They couldn't pull themselves away as they looked through each other's yearbooks and laughed and reminisced about their time together. I had to tell them 3 different times to leave so they could go outside to grab a bite to eat from the food trucks that we had for the event. And this was good food. I'm talking rosemary truffle French fries made to order good food. Finally, they made their way to the food trucks in the fields, but they were never far from their yearbooks as they asked each other for their signatures, and most poignantly for my colleagues, they kept asking us for our signatures as well. Watching them so fully embracing this ritual of nostalgia and laughter showed me how thoughtful they are. But for me, thoughtful doesn't just mean kind or caring or nice. It also evokes a sense that they are incredible at finding joy and happiness in the time they spend with others. And it is that thoughtfulness from this resilient, competitive, proud group that has made such a lasting impression on me and all of us in the upper school. Thank you, class of 2022.
Thank you, Mark. And now for a student address from Darren Belanger and Sarah Underkoffler.
Students, faculty, Board of Trustees, families, Ms. Silverman, Mr. Taylor, Mr. Casti, we are so glad that you are here. Thank you for coming and celebrating the class of 2022 today. Today isn't really about today. When you remove yourself from this exact moment at this exact time, you'll see that today is merely the last organized commitment that we, Bancroft School's class of 2022, are legally bound to. And arguably one of the most hands-off. When compared to any one of the thousands to tens of thousands of commitments that we've had at the school, we aren't doing anything except sitting here and looking pretty. And by the way, guys, you guys are killing it. There's no essays being revised, there's no data being gathered, no drills being executed or vocal warm-ups needing to be done before heading on stage. Our work here, it's done. There is nothing left for us to do. We finally arrived at the moment that oh so many of us have been waiting for, been nervous for, been dying for, and been ready for. We're here. So treat today as a mental exercise. Today is about memory and celebration, and I'm honored to be part of this recollection and celebration.
Today is a celebration of the past, but if you are waiting to today to celebrate our achievements, where have you been? Well, let me tell you, you've missed a lot. From everlasting memories made 10 years ago to forever moments born just last week, these memories are what hold us together. I remember like it was yesterday, running around Camp Kiev with 19 other fifth grade classmates, like complete lunatics, huddling together to create boulders, outrunning counselors, hitting checkpoints, all in one big game of manhunt. I remember the buzz of excitement running through our energy circle as all 28 eighth graders prepared for our opening night of Scared Silly. I remember the excited chaos that rolled through the upper school freshman year when the power went out and we got to go home early. I remember Caribou, 11 p.m., and 50 crazed seniors running amok in the pitch black. And I remember the pit, the creation of a bond that would run deeper in our grade than we ever thought it could. Whether we realize it or not, these memories are more than just that. They are Bancroft. I'm probably likely to remember AP Bio class not as the class where I learned how to calculate chi-squared, but rather the period with the however enthusiastic, the wildest, and by far the most entertaining class in Mrs. Sarabian's schedule. If you need proof, I have a running list of quotes just from that class. My point there is, yes, obviously it was important to some extent, the material we were learning, but the people, us, we are the true core of these memories that will live and accompany us through the rest of our lives. That's a long time. As a sandboxer, one thing that I always admired about our grade from the very beginning to the very end was how invested we were in everything we did. Ask us to do a project, you already know we are putting our whole mind, body, and soul into any project we are assigned. How about a job? Yep. Can almost guarantee that any one of us would go above and beyond the requirements just because that's how much we cared. We were engaged and connected, not just with the things we did, but with each other, most importantly. No one is a passenger on this wild ride that we call high school. We are all drivers, somehow maneuvering and guiding our own ships, while at the same time remaining one. We've kept things going when keeping things going was tough, and supported each other through our journeys here and through the end. And now, here, 58 of us stand, one last time, each holding on to our own shared, unique memories of our journey.
And sadly, this is the last time we will all be together in one place at one time. Our last chance to be present with these wonderful people. However, no one can take away our memories. If you ever had a good time here as a part of the class of 2022, which I'm going to take a wild assumption that you've had at least one, you get that good time to look back on forever, whenever you need it. Keep it in your back pocket for future days when you need to remember the good old days. Because eventually, all we'll have left is memories. And as we forge on with our lives, that's all we really need. We can rest easy knowing that we made our mark on this place. There's nothing left for us to prove here. The Wall of Fame says it all. We've done all that we can, and we had a blast doing it. So now, we pass the baton on to you all. We hope you can reap the benefits of what we were able to keep alive and do even more with it. And I hope all you seniors up here feel like you are part of the magic of the class of 2022. Because without every single one of you, we wouldn't be the magical class that we ended up becoming. Throughout our time together, we were relentless in memory making. So now we each get to take with us a collection of memories of the most fun times with the most fun people that we'll take with us wherever we go. And along with memories, we'll also take skills and confidence. Because while I look at all these amazing people up here and see future engineers, artists, and business people, I also see responsible global citizens and confident leaders. We're leaders and thinkers and doers about to leave the close-knit Bancroft community and take another step into society and hope to make our mark on it. Luckily, no matter how hard we may have tried, Bancroft would not let us leave without being leaders, thinkers, and doers. From everyone to teachers who we've had for many years, to coaches we had for just one season, to security guards, we've been guided and supported along our journey. We wouldn't be here if not for the love and care that mentors have invested in us, regardless if they can be here today or not. You have all been a part of those memories that we are taking into the next chapters of our lives. Thank you. There's more. And it's always been about the people for me. The classroom wasn't a place for geometry, but a place for learning together and budding friendships. The fields weren't places for sports, but places to hone skills as a team. And the dining hall wasn't about Creedon, but instead the friends I could eat it with. The real Bancroft was the friends we made along the way.
These memories and experiences, whether we realize it or not, are shaping the people we choose to be beyond this little community. Everything led to here. Years of hard work, dedication, and laughs brought us all here, now, together. Here we are engaged in one final hurrah, the moment, the memory in the making that will bring us to the end that we have all been waiting for. Fellow seniors, I just want to personally thank you. Thank you for choosing to come in week after week, because as we all know, sometimes choosing to roll out of bed and come here on a day-to-day basis was a struggle. But thank you for shaping and leading Bancroft through this past year of really bizarre uncertainty. Thank you to faculty and teachers who put up with my own unique qualities over these past years. I don't think I would be able to show up at any other school day after day with a Tupperware fruit bigger than my head, eat it in and out of class without getting some sort of detention or serious bullying. So thank you. And whether you are a sandboxer, here for the very beginning, or we met just this year, thank you for making 13 years of forever memories with me. I couldn't have done it without all of you, and we couldn't have done it without each other. Today was about today, and now we must look forward to tomorrow and the mystery it brings with it. And believe me, we're ready. Hey, class of 2022, we made it.
Handshake.
Thank you, Sarah and Darren. And now we have a student musical performance.
that this world could give. I saw so many places, the things that I did. With every broken bone, I swear I lived. Hope that you spend your days and they all add up. And when that sun goes down, hope they raise your cup. Oh, I wish that I could witness all your joy and all your pain. But until my moment comes, I'll say I did it all, and I did it all. I owned every second that this world could give. I saw so many places, the things that I did. With every broken bone, I swear I lived. Oh, with every broken bone, I swear I live. With every broken bone, I swear I did it all, and I did it all. I owned every second that this world could give. I saw so many places, the things that I did. With every broken bone, I swear I lived. Oh, I swear I lived.
Talent to this group is incredible. Thank you, guys. Next, I'd like to introduce Anna Hayward to introduce this year's faculty speaker. Anna.
When we reached out to ask this faculty member in April if they would be able to speak today, they wrote back with the subject line of a single crying face emoji, saying that they were at a loss for words. I was a little skeptical, however, because the truth is that this person always seems to know exactly the right thing to say, whether they're carefully and thoughtfully critiquing your ACEs paragraph or congratulating you on some accomplishment completely removed from English class. Ms. Sigismundi is someone who truly understands that words matter. She is always the first person to send a thoughtful email complimenting or congratulating members of our community, whether it's for a winning basketball game, a speech tournament, or a musical performance. She also always includes enthusiastic and to-the-point subject lines, such as incredible and congratulations, always in all capitals and always with multiple exclamation points. These small gestures have not gone unnoticed, and in fact, have meant the world to us. You have made sure that each one of us has felt appreciated, and for that, we can't thank you enough. Ms. Sigismundi has the rare power to be able to break down the barrier between teacher and student. Her warmth and easygoing nature means that we enter her class not as uninterested students just trying to pass, but as valued readers, writers, and thinkers. Our class will remember Miss Sigismondi as so many different things: a pro at unpacking literary quotes, a poem connoisseur, a true crime detective, but mostly, we will remember her as a friend. Even more than this, she has taught all of us just how much our words matter. During our time in the upper school, Miss Sigismondi has championed all sorts of impactful activities. Everything from the Young Writers Conference, to writing workshops, to the Scholastic Contest, to Poem in Your Pocket Bingo. And she has done all of this with an infectious sense of enthusiasm. Miss Sigismondi, you have fostered a crop of young writers and thinkers who know the power of their own voices and are ready to take on the world, or at least the first year of college. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you for your limitless passion for teaching and writing, your eternal positive attitude, and your dedication to each and every member of the class of 2022. So now, it is my honor to introduce our faculty speaker, Ms. Sigismondi.
Oh, thank you, Anna, for that beautiful introduction. And thank you to Mr. Cassidy, Mr. Taylor, the Board of Trustees, my dear colleagues, and family and friends of the Bancroft community. And of course, a very special and heartfelt thank you to the class of 2022 for the honor of being your faculty speaker today. It's hard to put into words just how meaningful it was to be asked by you, our beloved soon-to-be graduates, to partake in this momentous occasion with you. Simply put, you are a class that is wonderful in every sense of the word. A class of writers, scientists, engineers, mathematicians, performers, actors, musicians, artists, researchers, and athletes. A class of 58 who, both individually and holistically, are kind, compassionate, ambitious, creative, persistent, curious, and spirited. I thought of all that I could possibly say about a class that has had such a tremendous impact on me and on this institution. And my mind couldn't help but think back to the very first time I met so many of you, way back in 8th grade in room 237 of the McDonough Center. I thought back to lunch, to halftime, to advisory shopping, and to Tuesday morning assemblies. I laughed as I remembered you all being your sweet, awkward selves at middle school dances, ironically running away from the dance floor during the fast songs, yet running to the dance floor during the slow songs to see which of your classmates were brave enough to slow dance to Ed Sheeran's Perfect. And while middle school can be a challenging time, that never once precluded you from being compassionate, energetic, earnest, and motivated. But that was only the beginning. After all of the forums were given, after all of the World Fair projects were presented, and after all of the blurbs were read, you were upper schoolers ready to take on the challenge of a new division and welcome friends and classmates with open arms. The learning and the joy continued through freshman year when I taught many of you in JPR. Your infectious enthusiasm made each class exciting, and your creativity never ceased to amaze me, especially as we laughed along to your ingenious yet bizarre Shark Tank creations for the Odyssey. And I will never forget the keen insights you offered, the thoughtful questions you raised, and the subtle connections that you noticed in American literature, speculative fiction, humor and satire, or the list. Time and time again, I found myself impressed by your willingness to take risks, challenge your own thinking, and hold space for others' opinions. And at the end of the day, I know that I can speak for all of your teachers when I say that we have learned as much from you as you have hopefully learned from all of us. Of course, academics are only one piece of the upper school puzzle. It has been an absolute pleasure watching you grow leaps and bounds outside of the classroom and to witness all of the ways that you have embedded yourselves within the fabric of this community. When it came to Spirit Day, advisory competitions, Mountain Day, and lip sync, as touchy as a subject as that might be, the class of 2022 never disappointed, especially not with your face-in-hole performance of Justin Bieber's Sorry. Your exuberance is unmatched, your friendliness is unparalleled, and your mark on this community will never be forgotten. So after reflecting on all of the love, compassion, and energy that characterizes the class of 2022, I was still left with a major question. What advice can I possibly offer to this class? What pearls of wisdom can I pass on in my commencement speech? As many of you have thoughtfully expressed, I have, in some ways, grown up with you at Bancroft. So I don't necessarily have the wealth of experience that so many of my colleagues do. But this is a commencement speech. I have to leave you with something to think about as you prepare to receive that long-awaited diploma. So finally, I thought, you know what? Let's go in a different direction. Rather than offering you a list of all the things that you should do or keep in mind as you move forward, I decided I wanted to use this opportunity to remind you of all of the things you will not do after you graduate today. Buckle up. First, as you venture into the world as graduates of the class of 2022, you will not refer to words like love or friendship as themes. Those are motifs. Assume I have the English teacher equivalent of spider senses and will just know when you mix these terms up. Second, you will not, and I mean will not, put the period inside of your quote citation. For the love of all that's good, the period goes outside of the parentheses. Use the formatting checklist that I know you carry with you at all times. Third, you will not neglect to annotate, just as you have so diligently done in all of your books, English or not, in these last 4 years. Plan to mail me your college books at the end of your first semester so that I can give you an annotation grade. But of course, I don't want to limit this segment to just English lessons, though. My esteemed colleagues also wanted to share some critical parting words with you today. As you move beyond the walls of Bancroft School, remember to not prove your hypothesis, but rather to support it with evidence. As you embark on your next steps, do not write your name in Sharpie on the back of your newly completed art piece. As you journey into the next chapter of your life, never tap on the microphone when you prepare to speak. It's tempting, but simply saying test will suffice. As you move into the next phase, do not forget to write the units. Are we talking meters, kilograms, kelvins? Always include the units, but do not write the units on the graph that you're creating. Never. And please, if there is one and only one piece you take with you after today, it is this. If you have a free period at 8 a.m., you must not forget to sign into the upper school office when you arrive. Okay, maybe that one won't actually apply after today, but there is certainly a beloved dean in the crowd who does not want you to ever forget that. As absolutely crucial and not at all facetious as those pieces of advice were, I did not strictly want to leave you with a long list of do-nots as you sit before us today. So I'd like to change gears a bit and take you all the way back to 2008 on a sunny day in early June, much like this one. I was a senior sitting in my high school's social hall, the equivalent of the hub, at my all-girls Catholic high school on Staten Island, New York. I sat alongside my 91 classmates, all of us in our matching uniforms, down to quite literally the specific socks that we had to wear. I sat there in a sea of girls who all looked like me and whose last names all ended in a vowel, just like mine. We were gathered to hear from a panel of recent graduates who had come back to campus to offer some guidance for our upcoming freshman year. Surely, we heard the standard, get involved, go to office hours, don't forget your room key, all genuinely solid messages. But even now, 14 years later, I remember the exact words of the last alumna to speak. She had a much more serious demeanor than the other girls and looked at us intently as she said the following: meet as many people as you can. Admittedly, a lot of us laughed. As soon-to-be grads who were itching to experience the freedom of college, we assumed she was hinting at popularity or parties in front of the nuns, no less. But she simply smiled and offered a clarification. No, seriously, meet as many different people as you can. She went on to explain that for the vast majority of us, college would be the first time we would ever be collaborating and certainly living with people from all over the country and all over the world. And what better way to figure out who we were and who we wanted to be than by moving past appearances or surface-level similarities and genuinely learning from those different from us in our little Staten Island bubble. Whether we were going to a small liberal arts school of a few thousand or a large university with upwards of 50,000 students, she urged us to be open to new experiences and new people so that we could learn for ourselves who we were and who we wanted to be. And I promise you when I say that I held on to her words for all 4 years of my time at Holy Cross. Of course, that doesn't mean I became best friends with everyone I met, or that I even necessarily liked every single person that I met, but each and every one of them undoubtedly taught me something about myself, who I was, and who I ultimately wanted to be. And those simple 7 words came flooding back to me in 2012 during senior week as I sat with a large group of friends at Cool Beans in the Hogan Campus Center. I looked around at roommates, classmates, and friends who now looked nothing like me, had last names entirely different from mine and from each other's, who spoke languages I hadn't even previously heard of, who had hobbies and interests entirely unfamiliar to me, and still, who I was indebted to for all of the ways they helped shape me into who I am today. And that is what I hope for you, class of 2022, that you take your kindness, your enthusiasm, your ambition, and your undeniable love of community into new experiences and new friendships. I hope that you continue to find and create yourself and learn more about who you are and who you want to be at every step of the way. As you stand on the brink of 4 undeniably transformative years, I hope that you too will meet as many different people as you can along your journey. And speaking of undeniably transformative years, I'd like to remind you about a character that you met last year, a woman named Janie Mae Crawford from Zora Neale Hurston's seminal text, Their Eyes Were Watching God. Yes, we are going literary here, folks. You know I can't help myself. Janie, as you know, encountered some challenges, to put it lightly, on her own self-development journey. Between Logan Killicks and Joe Starks, between Nanny and Phoebe Watson, and between Matt Bonner's mule and the pear tree, the people Janie met and the experiences she had led her directly to being the woman she was and wanted to be. Certainly, some people like Mrs. Turner taught Janie who she did not want to be, and others, like Tea Cake, helped Janie cultivate a strength in herself she may not have otherwise found. Neither was a person Janie necessarily expected to meet or thought would be in her life, but her willingness to take a chance on those relationships led her to the brink of her very bright future. I wish that you all had your annotated novels here with you today so that I could direct you to a rich passage for one last time. On page 193, Hurston's omniscient narrator leaves us with this beautiful image. Janie pulled in her horizon like a great fishnet, pulled it from around the waist of the world and draped it over her shoulders. So much life in its meshes. She called in her soul to come and see. And that is what I hope, we all hope, for each and every one of you, that as you leave here today, you continue to pull in the big, bright, and beautiful horizon ahead of you. Class of 2022, I love you, we love you, and we cannot wait for all that your horizons have in store for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela. You all remember that part of that book, right? Yeah, of course. Now we've been brought back in. Thank you so much. Well, now is that moment, Mr. Taylor,
It's go time.
when you get to read some names and we get to hand some diplomas to these amazing people. You've heard lots of stories about them tonight. You're going to get a chance to clap for each and every one of them as they cross the stage. So, without further ado, Mr. Taylor, let us begin.
Thank you, Trey. And I wanted to let everybody know that the entire class of 2022 is in the program. Some people were not able to attend this evening, and they will have received their diplomas at a different time. But all of the class are listed, and I will be presenting the diplomas to this group now. Thank you very much. Morgan Yoon Adams. Joel Apoku Ajaman. Oluwatamalayan Joseph Akibu. Edward Balian. Prustid Bengandozu. Darren Carver Belanger. William Henry Chappell. Andrew Meyer Chasen. Anne Elizabeth Connors. Jack Cormier. Olgeta Petrajic Denga. Julia Teresa DeAngelis. Madeline Shea Fisher. Megan Annette Fitzpatrick. Jada Josephine Garnett. Chongtian Abraham Guo. Quinn McClelland Hart. Anna Linnea Hayward. Ivory Desire Hidalgo Batista. Brooke Ann Husson. Gavin Highland. Talia Zainab Jaber. Caleb Lee Jenkins. Jonah Silverman Keats. Andy Nyup Lee. Malachi Louisa. Anna Francesca Madonia. Alec Marr. Max Giovanni Menina. Lucas Everett Hora Marble. Nathaniel Sidney Martin. Ryan Patrick McAllister. Timothy James Melly. Christina Mello. Laurel Ann Madeline Mitchell. Marietta Nosto. Kaya Fan Boyzen Outson. Prem Chirag Parikh. Aiden Christopher Powers. Gavin Robert Rice. Alan Rivera Lopez. Bernard Vandermas Santos. Devin Lee Sippy. Hayden Palmer Sorley. Brent Stefani. Valerie Ann Sutherland. Justin Ernesto Torres. Sarah Elaine Underkoffler. Gerardo Vargas Dominguez. Jonah Alexander Whitney. Iris Elizabeth Zeisig. Ejen Athakal Jang. Yijo Carl Joe.
Why don't you guys stand back up for a sec? Doesn't that feel nice? All right, well, by the power vested in me, you are officially graduates of the Bancroft School Class of 2022. Please have a seat. As they say, today matters, and the yesterdays matter, and the future matters as well. We are so proud of you and so proud of the good work that you've done and so grateful for all of you for being able to join us tonight. To close our ceremony, I would like to introduce Bernard Santos and Prem Parikh to speak as our closing speakers.
There doesn't seem to be any other way of beginning this than through a demonstration of gratitude. We would like to extend a deep, deep thank you to all of those who have stood alongside the class of 2022. Thank you, thank you, thank you, from all of the Bancroft faculty to each of the families of the senior class. We appreciate all of the hard work and unrelenting support we have received throughout our time together. To the faculty, your countless hours of grading and extra help blocks do not go unnoticed or unappreciated. Without you guys, it would have been impossible to foster the iconic Bancroft School passion and thirst for knowledge and inquiry. Per Bancroft standard, our advisors all rose far beyond the standard, beyond the call of duty, building a comfortable and fun environment never before seen, building close, powerful relationships with students, braving through hours of weird teenage conversations, and stomaching down whatever Creedon concocted that afternoon.
To our Bulldog families, nothing will ever be enough to repay all the work you've put in throughout our journeys. Thank you for showing constant love and support. Thank you for cheering us on the sidelines, no matter the score. Thank you for reminding us to carry the one and that I comes before E before every final draft of a big assignment. Thank you for everything, both in and out of the classroom. It's all thanks to you that we will be certain that we will find plenty of joy and success in our future endeavors.
Despite our varying amount of years spent at the Croft, what has remained consistent among all of us is the unbreakable bond that our classmates have built. Through thick and thin, and including errors in judgment that need not be mentioned, so many lifelong friendships have been forged, all starting from the area formerly known as the Pit. Even restricted by the perilous breakout rooms of Zoom, people still manage to reach out to one another, going out of their way to check in on their friends and maintain their connections, whether it was pulling them out of quarantine for a breath of fresh air, or even staying up after hours for their gaming grind. As their senior year began, we excitedly greeted each other with open arms and shining smiles on our trip to Camp Caribou, the perfect send-off to senior year and the perfect comeback from the otherwise surreal and void junior year.
Change is inevitable. Change is constant. And because of this, it's important that we embrace and grow alongside it. The class of 2022 has observed plenty of change, from the state-of-the-art update of the robotics lab to the cubicle chairs all across campus. A lot has gone down. Change can be frightening and change can be exciting, but what's important is to understand that the new is for the better. We see change in the big and the small every day. We may no longer arrive on 110 Shore Drive at 8 every morning, but we will always share the experiences and memories we crafted along this journey, even as we go off on our individual paths. It would only be fitting to utilize Latin in tribute to our beloved Dean of Students. We are extremely lucky to have graduate beside us as the final words heard during our time as Bancroft Bulldogs. I'm sorry if I butcher this, Ms. Silverman. Mutatio pulchra et. Change is beautiful. That's it. Wait, hold on.
Change is beautiful, and you are beautiful. And to start us on our procession out, please celebrate the faculty, staff, and trustees as they start our procession.